In recent decades, the growing interest in secret, underground bunkers has made us wonder how far the global elite might go in their quest to ensure safety in case of global catastrophes. Hidden from the public eye and fortified against all conceivable threats, these structures have become symbols of privileged survival and inequality. The history of underground shelters dates back to ancient times, when people sought ways to protect themselves from natural disasters and enemy attacks. However, in the 20th century, with the onset of the Cold War and the threat of nuclear conflict, the construction of underground shelters became more systematic and large-scale. Governments began actively building bunkers for their leaders and high-ranking military officials to ensure their survival in case of a nuclear strike. In the 21st century, interest in underground shelters has significantly increased. Global threats such as climate change, biological pandemics, cyber attacks, and even asteroid impacts have driven the global elite to seek ways to protect themselves and their families. In response to these challenges, private companies have started offering services to build high-tech bunkers, capable of providing long-term autonomy and comfort. Modern underground bunkers are incredible engineering achievements. They are equipped with air and water filtration systems, powerful generators, autonomous energy systems, and extensive food supplies. Some bunkers can support their inhabitants for several years. Beyond basic survival conditions, many bunkers offer a high level of comfort. They include gyms, swimming pools, cinemas, libraries, and even gardens. This ensures not only physical, but also psychological well-being for their inhabitants. In prolonged isolation, the Oppidum, located in the Czech Republic, is one of the largest and most luxurious bunkers in the world. It includes living quarters, conference rooms, sports areas, and even a garden for growing fresh vegetables. Vivos XPoint in South Dakota, USA, is a complex of 575 individual bunkers, built on a former military base. It can accommodate up to 10,000 people and offers residents a high degree of autonomy. The SurvivalCondo Project in Kansas, USA, transforms a former missile silo into a multi-level residential complex. With fully autonomous infrastructure, it has everything needed for life, including schools and medical facilities. The rise of interest in underground bunkers raises many questions and criticisms. Firstly, access to such shelters is available to only a small portion of the population. This highlights social inequality and amplifies feelings of injustice. While most people would struggle to survive on the surface, the elite could hide in comfortable bunkers protected from all imaginable threats. Secondly, the ethical aspect of this issue also causes concern. The idea that a small group of people could survive global catastrophes while the rest of humanity suffers raises serious moral doubts. It challenges the foundations of our society and forces us to think about what the world would look like after such catastrophes. The idea of underground shelters is not new. From ancient times, people have built shelters to protect themselves from natural disasters and military threats. However, modern bunkers designed for the elite represent an entirely different level of protection and comfort. With the onset of the Cold War, governments of many countries began actively building bunkers for their leaders and high command to ensure survival in case of a nuclear strike. Since then, in the Middle Ages, castles often featured underground tunnels and shelters that allowed defenders to withstand sieges. In the 19th century, with the development of artillery and firearms, underground fortifications became an important element of defensive strategies in Europe and America. The Cold War, a new phase in bunker construction. With the onset of the Cold War, governments of many countries began actively building bunkers for their leaders and high-ranking officials. The threat of nuclear attack made the construction of underground shelters a priority for ensuring national security. During this period, well-known facilities such as the bunker in Ravensburg, Germany, and the American underground complex at Cheyenne Mountain were created. Bunker construction during this period became part of the strategy for preparedness against potential nuclear conflict. Such facilities allowed governments to maintain the functioning of their structures. Even in catastrophic crises, this created a sense of safety and confidence in the possibility of continuing governance and command despite the threat of total surface destruction. Early bunkers were designed for short-term use and protection from the immediate effects of explosions and radiation. The main focus was on sturdy constructions capable of withstanding powerful impacts and radiation, as well as life support systems that could sustain life for several weeks or months. These shelters were minimally equipped and resourced, meeting only basic needs in emergencies. They served as temporary refuges until the threat subsided, and were not designed for the long-term autonomous living characteristic of modern bunkers. Modern bunkers are high-tech complexes capable of sustaining life for many months, if not years. They are equipped with air and water filtration systems, energy generators, food supplies, and medical facilities. Some even feature gyms, swimming pools, and cinemas, providing not only physical, but also psychological comfort for their inhabitants. Technologies have advanced significantly. Modern bunkers designed for the elite represent an entirely new level of protection and comfort. Today's shelters offer long-term autonomous living and include not only protective functions, but also elements of luxury. Modern bunkers are equipped with air and water filtration systems, autonomous energy installations including solar panels and wind turbines, and vast reserves of food and medicine. Some can function completely autonomously for several years. This makes them high-tech shelters, equipped with everything needed for long-term autonomous living. They feature advanced air and water filtration systems, ensuring cleanliness and safety in any conditions. Autonomous energy installations, such as solar panels and wind turbines, guarantee independence from external energy sources. Bunkers also contain vast reserves of food and medicine, allowing their inhabitants to survive in isolation for years. These engineering solutions ensure a high level of comfort and safety, turning bunkers into reliable refuges for global catastrophes. Comfort and luxury. The motto of these shelters, in addition to basic survival conditions, many modern bunkers offer high levels of comfort and even luxury. For instance, they may include gyms and swimming pools to maintain physical fitness and health, cinemas and recreational areas for psychological comfort and leisure, libraries and educational centers to continue learning and self-development, green spaces and gardens, providing access to fresh produce and improving psychological well-being through a connection to nature. Despite their technological advancement and ability to provide comfort in extreme conditions, elite bunkers raise many questions and criticisms. Firstly, access to such shelters is available to only a small part of the population, highlighting social inequality and injustice. Secondly, the idea that a small group of people could survive global catastrophes while the rest of humanity struggles raises serious ethical concerns. One of the main issues with elite bunkers is their inaccessibility to the majority of the population. These underground shelters cost millions of dollars and are only available to the wealthiest and most influential individuals. In the event of global catastrophes, when millions of people could perish or suffer, only the elite would have the chance to hide in safe and comfortable conditions. This underscores deep social inequality and injustice present in today's world. Building and maintaining elite bunkers require colossal financial investments. These shelters are equipped with advanced technologies that provide long-term autonomous living. Their cost ranges from several million to tens of millions of dollars, making them inaccessible to the vast majority of people. These expenses include design and construction, using high-quality materials and complex engineering solutions, equipment and technology, implementation of advanced air and water filtration systems, autonomous energy sources, security and communication systems, maintenance and upkeep, regular technical maintenance and updates to ensure their reliability and functionality. Elite bunkers emphasize and exacerbate existing divides between the rich and the poor. In the event of global catastrophes, when millions of people may be at risk, the wealthy and powerful will be protected in their underground shelters, while the majority of the population will struggle to survive on the surface. This deepens social inequality and creates a sense of injustice among those who lack access to such shelters. The cost of building and maintaining such bunkers makes them inaccessible to the middle class and the poor. This financial barrier means that in critical situations, only those who already possess significant wealth will be able to survive. This resonates strongly in societies where many people are already struggling with economic difficulties and inequality. The idea that a small group of people could survive global catastrophes while the rest of humanity struggles raises serious ethical questions. In many cultures and societies, there is a moral belief that every human life is valuable and everyone should have equal chances of survival. Elite bunkers violate this belief, creating a privileged minority that values its life above the lives of the majority. The issue of social responsibility also plays an important role in the discussion of these bunkers. Elite shelters are often funded by wealth accumulated through economic activities that may have contributed to global problems such as climate change or social inequality. While the elite invests in their own safety, many believe that these resources could have been directed towards solving global issues and improving living conditions for all people. In addition, the presence of such bunkers can have psychological and social impacts on society. It may amplify feelings of hopelessness and injustice among those who lack access to these shelters. This could lead to social tensions and even conflicts, especially in times of crisis when resources become scarce. Often, elite bunkers are financed using resources accumulated through economic activities that may contribute to global issues. Companies and individual entrepreneurs who invest in the construction of these bunkers are often involved in industries that exacerbate climate change, environmental pollution, or social inequality. For example, industries contributing to climate change, oil and gas companies, large industrial enterprises, and transportation corporations. Economic activities leading to social inequality, tech giants and financial institutions that contribute to the concentration of wealth and power in the hands of a few. Technologically advanced and comfortable bunkers for the elite represent not only an engineering marvel, but also a symbol of profound social inequality and moral dilemmas. They emphasize the divide between the rich and the poor, challenging fundamental values of equality and justice. In the face of global catastrophes, these shelters may serve as a refuge for the select few, while also becoming a source of public tension and conflict. These issues must be addressed seriously to build a more equitable and sustainable society. Underground bunkers designed for the elite incorporate cutting-edge technologies and engineering solutions. They are equipped with life support systems capable of functioning autonomously for extended periods. These bunkers feature advanced air and water filtration systems, powerful generators using renewable energy sources, and high-tech security and communication systems. The secret bunkers of the global elite represent a fascinating, yet unsettling phenomenon of modern times. These underground structures not only demonstrate remarkable engineering achievements, but also raise important questions about the future of humanity, equality, and ethics. Regardless of our perspective on these shelters, they inevitably remain a symbol of our anxious era, in which the fear of global catastrophes has become an integral part of life. The elite, who invest enormous resources into bunker construction, could instead allocate these funds towards solving global issues such as climate change, combating poverty, and improving healthcare systems. This raises questions about the responsibility of the wealthy and powerful to society and humanity as a whole. The secret bunkers of the global elite are a complex phenomenon, blending engineering achievements with profound social and ethical challenges. They highlight growing inequality and raise serious questions about the future of humanity and our ability to address global threats. Regardless of our stance on these shelters, they remain a powerful symbol of our time, reflecting the fears, hopes, and contradictions of the modern world.